Do you guys like when I get things horribly wrong? Like, remember that time in the Never Been Kissed movie review when I thought that rival piece was written by Josie and I ranted about it for like 10 minutes and I was totally wrong? Or what about that time I didn't understand the disappearing bees and the happening? Like, I didn't realize that was just part of the happening. Or remember in the Miley Cyrus, Liam Hemsworth movie where I called that shark a great white shark and it was actually a lemon shark? Well, if you're into that, if you're into me making constant mistakes during my movie reviews, then you are going to absolutely love today's movie review, during which I had no idea what I was talking about while reviewing the movie Madam Web. So Madam Web, okay, let me read the description here. It says, Cassandra Webb is a New York paramedic who begins to demonstrate signs of clairvoyance. Forced to challenge revelations about her past, she needs to safeguard 3 young women from a deadly adversary who wants them destroyed. Now, I did know because my husband told me that Madam Web is sort of related to Spider-Man. I probably would have guessed that on my own at some point because of the spider suits, but you never know with me. So I knew that they were related, but I did not realize just how closely related they were. And I filmed this whole movie review with my limited knowledge. What's new? So for example, Emma Roberts is in this movie. Make fun of her a lot. She's pregnant in this movie. Had no earthly idea that she's actually pregnant with Peter Parker. I just thought they weirdly focused on her pregnancy a lot. But I'm still confused about how... Never mind. So when I got to the end of the review and I started reading other people's reviews, I was like, oh, I missed some stuff. I thought about trimming out all my silly mistakes, but you know, I kind of think it makes the video funnier. My stupidity. So get ready for me to do a very bad job roasting a very bad movie. By the way, this is probably the worst movie I've ever seen, regardless of whether or not I understood what was happening. The whole thing is very weirdly and poorly overdubbed. The acting is weird. There's a fake baby. There's 26-year-old teenagers. There's a hacker. It's a lot. So kids, put on your plus-size Spidey suit from Amazon. It was only $20. And let's laugh crazy hard at Madam Web. Just after today's lovely sponsor, which by the way, Nick is in this ad and we worked very hard on it, so please watch it. Hey kids. Oh, hey. Me and Penny here coming to you live from my spare bedroom to give you a little bedtime story. Once upon a time, my husband Nick went into a mattress store because he was desperate for relief from the back pain he experiences while sleeping. He walked into the store, walked up to the salesman and said, hey yo, salesman, how much does your bestest, most luxurious mattress cost? And the guy said, about $6,000. And he said, all right, how about your second bestest mattress? What does that cost? He said about $4,000. And then he said, okay, what would your third bestest mattress run me? He said about $2,600 or something along those lines. And Nick said, all right, wrap it up. So they wrapped it up, brought it home, and it was okay and all. Until, of course, about a year later when I discovered the Helix sleep mattress. This one that I'm sitting on right here, which is in my spare bedroom. My husband slept on it one time and was forever addicted, and has, ever since that day, hated the current mattress in my bedroom, in comparison to this one, of course. My husband has asked me probably 35 times in the last year if we could please buy a king-size Helix mattress for our master bedroom because he loves it that much. So friends, Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses that are customized to fit your needs and conveniently shipped right to your door. You just go into their website and you take the Helix Sleep quiz, which will match you to the perfect mattress. We got matched with the Sunset Luxe, I believe it is. It's a glorious cloud. We also got the cooling cover because Nick is a hot sleeper. Actually, we both are. So you take the quiz and the mattress will be delivered right to your door. It is super easy to set up. It comes with a 10-year warranty and you have 100 nights to decide whether or not you like the mattress. Sure could have used that with the one from the other brand that we got. Not only are myself and my husband obsessed with this bed, but as you can see, this dog, every single day, I walk down the hallway looking for her and I find her curled up in this bed. It is glorious. So friends, if you are in the market for a new mattress and you want to check out Helix, you can go to helixsleep.com/JamieFrench and you will receive 20% off of your mattress plus 2 free pillows. Forgot about these! Every stinking time I forget! These are fluffy dream clouds, by the way. Again, friends, you can head to helixsleep.com/JamieFrench, spell my name correctly. You'll get 20% off your mattress plus 2 free pillows. Thank you so much, Helix Sleep, for sponsoring a portion of today's video, keeping me and Penny here comfortable. And now back to the show. Hey kids, we're back. Madam Web. Lego. So Dakota Johnson plays Cassandra Webb, as in she is Madam Webb. But the opening sequence of the movie is actually a flashback to her mom, Constance Webb. So it takes us back to the ancient time of 1973 in the Peruvian Amazon. Constance is there, pregnant with little Cassandra. She's but a fetus. And Constance is there attempting to capture these like special spiders from the Peruvian Amazon.
They're almost impossible to find. No one's ever captured one alive.
So she is accompanied by this gentleman, Ezekiel, who has that incredible talent that we see from time to time in movies where he can speak without moving his mouth.
I agreed to provide security for you because I thought you were close to finding the spider.
I completely missed that, actually. Nick was the one that pointed it out. He goes, he wasn't speaking, rewind it. And I kind of felt like Morpheus from The Matrix.
I am Morpheus.
You know, because I trained him to hate movies and now he hates them better than I do. I'm so proud. I think I actually took a video of us watching it that night. 2 minutes and 20 seconds in. How do you feel so far?
Terrible. I am the one who caught the first mistake.
That's true. So Ezekiel's non-moving mouth, like right in the beginning of this movie, is the first of many times that you will very clearly hear that a heck ton of the audio in this movie had to be like re-recorded in post-production.
What's your name? Ezekiel! Ezekiel!
And I've noticed this with a lot of movies lately. I just noticed this with Roadhouse, with Jake Gyllenhaal. Everything's starting to be like lip-synced, overdubbed in post-production. I'm horrified that that's like the new direction that the film industry is going because it makes the movie not good. Because not every good actor is a good voice actor. You know what I mean? It happens again 2 seconds later.
These little spiders have the potential to cure hundreds of diseases.
Okay, not everybody I know can actually hear stuff like this. I have this experience one time where my dad, myself, and Nick were watching this movie called Elizabethtown with Kirsten Dunst. Terrible movie. 0 out of 10.
You failed.
There was a scene where she was like on a subway or something and the audio switched from like the boom mic that was there present on the scene and post-production audio, and they could not hear it and they fought me tooth and nail, and I was like, I hear a difference in the audio. So not everybody will be as annoyed by this as I am, but I hate it. And if you can hear it, I'm really sorry because you're going to hate this movie. Anyway, so as you heard via the very annoying audio, they're searching for these special spiders that can cure diseases. So Ezekiel heads back to camp. He starts weirdly taking photos of Constance's notes/sketches when suddenly Constance comes running up to camp yelling in excitement that she found the spider.
I found it.
Yay, so exciting. They found the disease-curing spider.
Incredible, isn't it? Something so small, so much power.
Dang. That took a turn. So yeah, as you have probably surmised, her friend Ezekiel is not her friend at all.
Ezekiel!
He tells her, he's all like,
I've been searching for that spider for years.
Anyway, he straight up shoots a pregnant woman and then takes the spider and leaves her for dead. But thankfully, these neato spider people show up to save the day. They kind of like pinball through the woods and scoop her up off the forest floor and take her to their secret spider lair where she gets bitten by one of the super spiders and then gives birth in this like nasty spider water with this guy. I don't know what's happening. But it seems unsanitary to me. But apart from the gross spider cave liquid that she has her baby in, the whole scene is quite confusing because not only is it voiced over in post-production yet again, but it actually looks like the actor's original lines were not the ones that are being spoken. So it's not just like they voiced over the same lines. This is his mouth does not match up with what he's saying.
She will come back when she needs answers, and when she does, I will be here for her.
And you can see how the filmmakers clearly tried to disguise this little blunder with some cool editing. Like if you scrub through frame by frame, which is what I did in my editing software, you see these just little flash frames of nothing. One of them was like the spider guy's face, but with a fisheye effect. They just do this to cover up his mouth, and I'm so curious. What was the original line? What did he say? Would it change the movie entirely?
Your friends are morons. Who brought a giraffe?
These are questions that keep me awake at night. So quick recap, okay, if you're as confused as I am. Special spider bit mom, which I guess induced labor? Question mark. So then baby grows up to be Dakota Johnson. So if she were born in 1973, that would make her 51 years old. What?
Comes and looks at you.
Oh, never mind. She's only 30. I was so hoping they made some massive mistake that I caught. So like I said, it's 2003. Little spider-bitten baby Cassandra is all grown up. She is a paramedic in New York City now. Her co-worker, Ben, who is played by Adam Scott.
Hey, guys.
He's there.
I'm starting compressions now.
Ben, what are you even doing back there?
Saving the woman's life? Question mark. Okay, now that I'm watching this for a second time, I can actually totally tell that it was set in 2004 because all the cars are like pancakey. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so they get this woman to the ER and her little boy really wants to thank the paramedics. He wants to thank Cassie in particular for saving his mom's life. A gesture which she seems to be completely incapable of processing.
That's you. I mean,
Thanks, buddy.
that's you. I mean, you.
What? She's very guarded.
Can't even fold it. It's like cardboard.
So this, my friends, is where we first lay eyes on Sydney Sweeney's character, Julia. It turns out she is the stepdaughter of the woman whose life they saved.
I'm her stepdaughter.
And apparently the woman's a terrible person because she only wants her husband and biological child to visit her in the hospital room.
I think she might prefer.
Yeah, it's okay, Dad. I'll see you guys back at your apartment.
So Julia has to go home. But more importantly, this was such a strange casting choice. And that's not to say at all that I know anything about casting a film, okay? I really like Sydney Sweeney. I think she's super talented, but this was not the right fit. I can't explain why. It's kind of like when Melanie Linsky was cast as that like ruthless, evil villain, you know, in The Last of Us.
Where is he?
Not intimidating. It just doesn't work. Anywho, so Cassie and Ben head to the break room to nom on like 36 cartons of Chinese food when Ben makes a confession.
Kind of met someone.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's this one's name?
And they focus pretty hard on this conversation for like 2 to 3 solid minutes, and it never comes back. I was thinking maybe the two of them were gonna... I don't know. Can someone who read the comics please explain what that was about? Future me here with spider powers, and I now understand who Ben met. Yeah. So the next day or something, Cassie and Ben respond to an emergency car crash. And after they help the guy out of his car, Cassie just kind of stays in it and ends up going off the bridge and into the water.
Hey, get
And when she's down there, she met a dolphin down there. And he looked at her, into her soul, you guys, and he said, "I'm saving you, Cassie." I'm just kidding. There's no dolphin. If you know, you know. Anyway, she didn't meet a dolphin, but she does have a very strange experience. So I guess this is like when her spider powers from when her mom was bitten when she was in the womb, this is when that all kicks in. She sees some cool lights in the water, some strange visions, she's hearing noises, and all of a sudden, before she knows it, she's waking up, coughing up water, and like being resuscitated. I would truly have loved to have known how Ben single-handedly fished her out of a sinking car, but we never will. So Ben is checking her out after the accident when all of a sudden she seems to start to have some deja vu type of experience, or at least it seems like deja vu, but we know that it's actually her newfound clairvoyance thanks to her spider bite that suddenly decided to kick in when she almost died. Why her power suddenly decided to kick in during this accident, I don't know, but again, I didn't read the comics, so if you don't know either, then you're in the dark. Like me. It's fun in here. Meanwhile, guys, remember Ezekiel, the villain from 1973? Ezekiel! Well, this is where we get to catch up with him. So he has these strange, like, recurring nightmares where these 3 women in spider suits steal his spider.
Where's my spider?
And they attack him and stuff. You guys see what I mean yet? It's just not intimidating. And that's not to say that I would be intimidating as a spider woman either. In fact, I would definitely be the opposite. Oh yeah, get him. You guys are killing it. You're like, You really don't even need me, to be honest. I feel like this wasn't decaf. You know, I'm getting anxiety.
He died.
Bad dream?
It's not a dream. I'm gonna be murdered one day.
Yeah, so Ezekiel's dreams feel more like premonitions, if you will. He's sort of seeing his future. And he does some more really cool, like, tricks with his mouth where he says one thing, but you hear something else entirely.
You have no idea of the torment and torture of dying over and over again.
Anyway, he ends up unaliving this woman by some, like, spider poison capability that he has.
What are you doing? How are you poisoning me?
Just immediately. What are you doing? How are you poisoning me?
Believe me, it's a good thing you had no idea today.
You guys, if I were to show you every time this weird voiceover thing happens in this movie, we will be here all day. Wait, actually, no, we won't. This movie's only 2 hours long. I think we can actually swing it. So that woman that he poisoned was an NSA agent, which I'm pretty sure stands for National Security Agent. Yeah, she's a national security agent, and he takes her badge, and remember that because it will come back later. Cut back over to Cassie, who is, I believe, 24 hours post dying and being brought back to life, and she's going to a baby shower for Ben's sister-in-law, who is played for some reason by Emma Roberts. Any of my guy friends watching this, I swear upon all that is holy that if you ever invite me to your sister-in-law, whom I have never met's baby shower, and force me to play stupid baby shower games while you guys are all sitting outside drinking beer and grilling, I won't be your friend anymore. Hear me? You understand? Channing, Danty, Chris Stapleton. Glad we're all on the same page. So anyway, this baby shower is crazy awkward.
My mother actually died in childbirth.
But more importantly, Cassie has yet another strange bout of deja vu. But this time, the deja vus don't match up. So this little sequence of events happens twice. So first, Emma Roberts asks Cassie what her guess is for the baby's name, and Cassie has to, like, spit out this falafel or whatever it is that she's eating. But then when the same sequence of events happens again, there is no falafel. She just says,
Wait, we just did this.
so it's like she can see the future, but it's not totally accurate. It doesn't matter because Ben comes in and tells them that all of the paramedics have to go. They got called into, like, an emergency fire. Does that happen? Do paramedics who are not on duty get called in for stuff? I actually would like to know the answer to this. Anyway, they arrive on the scene. She's trying to save one guy's life, and she keeps having this premonition of her coworker getting killed, which he does.
O'Neill, come on!
It's very sad, but all I could focus on was how weirdly the scene was edited together. It just kept showing, like, that semi that struck the side of the ambulance. They showed it blocking the driver's side door and then not blocking it, but then blocking it again and then not blocking it. So I didn't understand that, and I didn't understand why he died immediately from that injury when he just got kind of hit in the side, and I didn't understand where the blood was coming from, and I didn't understand why Ben told Cassie to stop doing chest compressions on the guy, and I don't get it!
Eventually.
Sorry. Got a little carried away. I think it's time for a break. And when we come back, my personal favorite character. See you there.
The scale of the NSA surveillance is unprecedented. They can access everything. There's nowhere to hide.
Friends, I would like to introduce you to Amaria the hacker. She be like, I'm in, because hackers be like, I'm in. We know this. This was another strange casting choice. So she has hacked her way into the NSA's, like, hacker software using that one lady's badge, I guess. And she's using this, like, NSA facial recognition software to recognize the 3 women from Ezekiel's dreams. Mind you, he has only seen them in his dreams.
This is what they look like in your visions, as well as you can recollect.
You mean to tell me that Ezekiel is so good at describing people's faces that they were able to generate their likenesses 100% accurately?
Here's what they should look like now.
Oh, give me a break! So the hacker is a bit concerned that they're sitting there, like, targeting these teenagers. Because, if I haven't mentioned this yet, Ezekiel wants to find the girls from his dream and kill them before they kill him. You know what I'm saying? He wants to kill the children. Again.
They're teenagers now, but in the future, they have powers. But in the future...
Any guesses as to what he actually said there before the overdubbing?
I'm into spanking.
How about right here?
I came from nothing, less than nothing. I will not give up.
I promise you this had to have been an entirely different storyline before the post-production audio. They could be talking about anything. They could be talking about freaking Tiger King.
Carol Baskin's really, really pretty.
Anyway, I really don't like the hacker. When I said she was my favorite character, I lied. So it's time for O'Neill's funeral. So Cassie boards the subway to head to his funeral. Meanwhile, Amaria, the hacker, be like, I'm in, and is watching the train station. And she happens to also see the three girls from Ezekiel's vision.
Anya Corazon is now moving onto the platform. Julia Cornwall is on the concourse. And Martha Franklin. What are the odds of them all being in the same place at the same time?
Yeah, and when did you learn their names? Last I checked, all you knew is what they looked like. So while she's on the bus, Cassie starts having her premonitions that she's been having, and this time they're of this bad man coming and killing these three young girls. We know who the bad man is, right? But she doesn't. And you can tell they're premonitions because she keeps having to like take her jacket off. Like this whole scenario keeps starting over. Also in her disturbing visions is this annoying guy.
This is the train to Mount Vernon, right?
Dude, there's a ton of empty seats. Why would you sit on top of my friend? So the vision starts over for a third time, and now she understands what's happening. And she's able to get up, spot Ezekiel as he's getting on the bus, and stop and thwart him.
Get off, get off. Get up. Me? No, get off. You're gonna die if you stay here.
But like, how does she know which scenario is a premonition and which one is present? You know what I'm saying? Which one's the reality? How do you know when you've seen all the premonitions that you're going to see and you can start actively doing stuff to change the outcome? That would be very confusing to be clairvoyant, I'm just saying. Anyway, she's able to get the girl safely off the train, and Ezekiel spots her as the train is pulling away. So now they're all in big, big trouble.
Now you're all in big, big trouble.
They're in danger, you guys. They all have to run and hide from a very scary villain who talks like this.
Where's my spider?
He's the most non-scary villain since Jono from Purple Hearts. You remember him?
You owe me 15, right? So is that.
That is until he puts on the scary Spider-Man costume.
That's your emergency. That.
So they have to hop on the other train quickly.
Hey, am I on the right train?
Shut up, Carl! We're trying to evade a scary spider guy. So they narrowly escape Ezekiel. They all get into a cab that she steals. And then they all start to, like, introduce themselves and chat about how crazy that all was.
You climb on walls and dodge bullets. How is that even possible?
Yeah, that's weird and all, but don't you also want to know why he wanted to kill you guys?
I'm Cassie. Okay, what are your names?
Okay, so their names are Julia, Maddie, and Anya, in case you guys cared. And all of their parents are out of town / busy, and now Cassie is a wanted fugitive for abducting 3 teenage girls, so they all have no choice but to stay together for the entire duration of the movie. So they go and hide out in the woods when suddenly they all realize that they have all seen Cassie before. Julia's like, hey, you're that awkward paramedic.
You saved my stepmother, then you were super awkward about it. That does sound like me.
That does sound like me.
It was like a spider person.
Wait a sec. A spider person? I've read about those before in my mom's diary.
So she tells the girls that she has to go so she can go research spider people.
Where are you going?
So Cassie sneaks back to her apartment and she pulls out this trunk full of her mom's old stuff so that she can read her diary out loud to no one.
Have you ever heard of Las Arañas?
Who, me? Yeah. I am one.
According to local folklore, they possess powers derived from spider venom and are incredibly fast, incredibly strong, and
that is true.
They can climb like spiders.
Exactly, dude. Check it out. Spider jump. Spinning kick. So in addition to finding out that spider people can see the future and all that jazz, she also sees this picture of her mom and Ezekiel.
Oh my god.
Ezekiel! Who took that photo? So Cassie rushes back to tell the girls, but they stupidly didn't stay where they were supposed to stay, and they went and ate at a diner and decided to dance on a table to Britney Spears' Toxic. I'm less angry that they did this, knowing that there's a masked spider freak chasing after them, and I'm more mad at these dance moves. Anyway, of course, a freaking guy in a hat recognizes the girls from the paper and calls the police. It's always a guy in a hat. And hacker Amaria intercepts the 911 call because she's a hacker. And she's in, so Ezekiel is able to get to the diner immediately and straight up kills them all. But plot twist, it was all just a premonition. So once she snaps back to reality, she's able to actually save them all by straight up driving the cab through the restaurant. Good thing no one else was standing there.
I don't understand how they're doing this.
I've got a match on the woman who's with them. Cassandra Webb, daughter of Constance Webb, deceased.
Did you say Webb?
So Cassie takes the girls to a motel somehow. I don't know. She just has this key card for a motel room. I watched this 17 times to try and figure out how she got to this motel and got a room as a wanted fugitive, and I must have missed something 17 times. I missed it 17 times. So the girls go into even more detail about how their parents are all...
My parents aren't around either. I don't think they're gonna fly back from China to deal with this, and I really don't want to find out.
Maddie, are you a spider person too? Because you totally just spoke without moving your mouth.
I don't think they're gonna fly back from China to deal with this, and I really don't want to find out.
I was so focused on her lips not moving that I didn't realize what she said until right now. You don't think your parents would want to fly back from China if they knew a masked super spider douche was trying to kill you?
My mom's in a psych ward.
My dad got deported.
Oh, cry me a river. I'm just kidding. That stuff is actually really sad, but it's not real. Sorry, I'm getting a little carried away again. And I think it's time we're going to take a break. And when we come back, Ben, remember Ben, houses the abducted teenage girls. See you there.
You're leaving. I have to go and figure out what is going on.
Well, guys, the girls are going to stay with Ben and Emma Roberts while Cassie goes to Peru to find answers. And the next time the camera cuts, she's in Peru. How she got through the airport as a wanted child abductor? We'll just have to guess. So friends, thankfully, Cassie's mom kept very detailed notes and maps of exactly where she was in the Peruvian Amazon because Cassie is able to find the right spot immediately. And all she has to do is stand there for literally 1 second when suddenly the spider people come out of the woodwork.
You have come back looking for answers.
It's Las Arañas, which is Peruvian for spider people, I guess. I don't know. Oh, hold on a second. This spider guy just suddenly turned into a regular guy.
I promised your mother I would be here.
So he takes her to the gross cave where she was born, and he tells her that in order to see the future clearly, she must confront the traumas of her past. So he pushes her into the gross water, but only her see-through self falls in. So it's like her soul? Anywho, this pool is a bit of a pensive, I guess. Like a memory pool that holds all of Cassie's mom's memories specifically. Question mark, question mark, question mark, backslash. So suddenly she's in her mom's memories. She's pulling a Tara Reid.
Make me want to throw up my guts in the toilet? Yeah, maybe.
And she sees everything that happened to her mom. And she finds out why her mom wanted these spiders in the first place. Turns out her mom was seeking the spider's venom because it has healing properties. And I guess when Cassie was but a fetus, she had some sort of like neuromuscular disease that the mom was hoping to cure.
I'm sorry to tell you that your baby has myasthenia gravis.
So now Cassie understands her mom and doesn't resent her anymore.
That's why you went there? For me?
And she can just put all that long lost resentment to rest now, you know?
You did it. You did it.
You did it. You did it. That reminds me of that that TikTok where the guy voiced over the donkey and he's like, you see it? You see it.
You see it. You see it.
You did it.
So she comes out of the memory pool and Spider Guy tells her that not only can she see the future, but also...
You can use the web to be in more than one place at the same time.
Okay, guys, now she gets to be in 2 places at once because she swam in the memory pool and saw the past. What? Don't yell at me. I didn't write it. Side note, where's Ezekiel? I haven't seen him in a long time.
She can't hide them forever.
Any guesses on that one? All right, so Ezekiel and his hacker friend can't find the girls.
I have eyes on all of their houses. Still nothing.
Because they would never suspect that they're actually staying with Ben and his sister-in-law, right? I guess hackers don't always be like I'm in. By the way, the baby's coming.
Either I peed myself or my water broke.
Baby isn't due for 4 weeks.
I love how paramedic Ben, that can dive into rivers to save people submerged in vehicles and perform life-saving chest compressions and react quickly in stressful situations, just absolutely panics at the thought of his sister-in-law going into labor. So they get in the car to head to the hopsicle, and Emma Roberts' labor pain sounds are just... they're something, you know? So on the way to the hospital, Maddie stupidly looks out the car window when they're passing a surveillance camera, even though 5 seconds earlier they all decided to keep their heads down because they're being tracked by Ezekiel.
I might have something.
Of course you do! Meanwhile, Cassie returns home from Peru and she shows up at Ben's and looks through the window and sees the puddle of amniotic fluid.
This doesn't get me to the hospital.
Couldn't she have just had the premonition? Did we need to see the puddle? So strange, right? So she ends up stealing the ambulance that showed up for Emma and she rushes to save her friends. And I sure hope she's fast enough because it sounds like the baby's coming any second.
Pretty fast.
Is that the best sound that they could actually come up with? What happened? What happened in the post-production audio booth? In fact, I need to see who did this. Okay, so there's a long list of people who worked on the sound for this movie when I look on IMDb, but I'm gonna go ahead and place the blame on this guy, Phil Berry, because he's the sound designer and also his name is kind of hilarious. So let's all bully Phil. Phil! Phil! Why'd you do it, Phil? Why'd you put that noise in? Anyway, moving on. Sorry. Cassie somehow meets Ben and the girls at the exact right spot, and she has Ben take Mary to the hospital and has the girls get into the ambulance where they lure Ezekiel, who is now chasing them. They lure him into this big warehouse full of fireworks, and they run to the roof where there just so happens to be a helicopter there to save them. Who called? How did the helicopter know where to... What did I miss? Doesn't matter because the helicopter gets blown up. Anyway, this rooftop battle is supposed to be like the climax of the movie, and it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. These completely untrained, like 16-year-olds are suddenly all parkour experts and disc throwing Olympic champions. The CGI looks like trash. It's so wonderful. I so wish I had been a part of this project. It's hilarious. Anyway, a bunch of silly stuff happens, and Ezekiel falls to his death. It didn't even seem like Cassie defeated him. It seemed like he just fell. But then Cassie ends up falling into the water too after the battle, along with this neon sign that has somehow stayed lit even though it broke away from its power source. Anyway, she's about to drown, I guess, when Sydney Swimmy, aka Julia, comes to save her. Again, the untrained, alleged teenager can swim in the pitch black water with like debris and fireballs pelting at her. Sorry, who is that? That's not Dakota Johnson, right? That's like a dummy. So Julia swims her to the surface. They get her out. They do chest compressions just like she taught them.
Wait a damn minute.
Yeah, so she wakes up. This is not funny, okay? She wakes up. She wakes up blind. I'm slap happy because it's late at night. She wakes up blind and paralyzed. They fast forward to the future and they all live together and Cassie's like in a motorized wheelchair. It's obviously not funny when things like this happen in real life. I think the reason it's killing me in this movie is because it's a terrible ending. Like she's just sitting there in her thing, staring out the window like,
imagine if I had just stayed a paramedic and not broke every bone in my body for these 27-year-old teenagers.
What she has lost in body, she has gained in her clairvoyant abilities.
I can see better than I ever have.
She seems to have full control over her clairvoyance now.
Bless you, Anya. What?
Oh my god, this is so bad. I love that the girls bring her takeout and she already knows what's in the bag before she already knows it's Kung Pao chicken. And they're like, how'd you know?
Kung Pao chicken is perfect. How'd you know?
Did you guys forget all the events of the last few weeks? Did you forget that your lives were saved by a clairvoyant Spider Woman? Anyway, the movie closes out with her telling the girls that she can see their futures and that one day they will all become kick-A Spider Women, and that's the end. And we never found out who Ben met.
She's a lucky lady, Ben.
Oh man. All I did was write the script for this. I didn't really do any research, so I'm sure there's so much that I'm missing, but I think that makes it funny. And that's part of why it's bad, because if you don't do extensive research on this film, you won't understand half of it. The budget was $80 million. Opening weekend it grossed $15 million. And so far worldwide it is at $99,266,032. Okay, hey, I've seen much worse. I gotta go to freaking bed, dude. I'm slap happy. Look at this pile of junk. She's so ready to go to bed. Thank you so much, friends. I got a feeling this is going to be a long movie review just based on how much talking I did. So if you watched the whole thing, I truly appreciate you. Feel free to hang out with me on my other social media accounts. Subscribe if you want. Smash that like button. Have a good evening. Who says that? Who says have a good evening? Have a good evening, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Yeah, I am one. Oh my god, this hurts! Oh god. There is a ton of 1-star reviews. This review is called Makes Morbius Look Like the Dark Knight. There is an insane amount of 1-star reviews. It's not good, guys. High tide, low tide, you know, high tide, the morning time. We're going strong, baby, up, down the river. Remember my first wall climb? Oh god. I hit something. Oh, hold on a second. This spider guy. Wait, is there slime on my finger? That's why my hair is so big. It's full of secrets. This go here? This is a bit extreme. It's a bit extreme, isn't it?
It's a bit extreme, isn't it?
Meanwhile, we meet my favorite character. Yeah? Yeah! I'm filming, you dweeb! Sorry. I scared Nick. She's but a fetus.
But a fetus, but a fetus, but a fetus, but a fetus, but a fetus. Yeah, and then like, you know, like shoot some webs.